Hello guys, welcome to Ofoi TV platform. My name is Kia. If this is your first time coming here, please take a moment and click the subscribe button. But if you're somebody who has been coming here and you have never subscribed, please subscribe to this YouTube channel so that whenever I post a new video, you will get a notification. Thank you so much for doing this. We just ended the last DV lottery registration, but then we have people who were selected in the DV lottery in May of this year, May 2023. And I'm talking about the DV2024 winners. Guys, if you're a DV2024 winner, I hope by now you have already submitted your DS260. If you haven't, please just pause, go and work on that, okay? I hope everybody has submitted their DS260, but if you haven't, or if it's just anything that is giving you that, causing you to delay after this point, please work on it. Hurry up, okay? Now, those of you who have successfully submitted your DS260 and you're asking, when will I get my interview? I submitted my DS260 and I haven't heard from them. And you're wondering when you'll get your interview. Let me give you some tips that will help you with your journey, okay? Now, please know that nobody can accurately predict when you're going to get your interview. Nobody can tell you that on this day you'll get your interview, or your interview will be on this day, okay? But what you can do, the most important thing is that you have submitted your DS260 and everything is good, and you just wait. You will need a lot of patience at this point, and you just wait, okay? But whilst you're waiting, what you need to do is make sure that you prepare for your interview, gather your documentations for your interview, should you get an interview. Now, you get an interview will be based on several factors, and I'm going to mention some of them that will impact whether you get an interview or not, or whether you get an interview sooner or later. One of the major deciding factors as to whether you get an interview is you submitting your DS260. If you win the DV lottery and you never submit the DS260, which is the immigrant visa application, definitely you're not going to get an interview. That is absolutely sure. You will not get an interview if you don't submit your DS260 application, which is the immigrant visa application. If you don't submit that, if you don't fill that out, you are not going to get an interview. So the first deciding factor as to whether you could possibly get an interview is you making sure that you have filled your DS260 application and submitted it, okay? Remember, when you submit your DS260, it goes through review, some background check, some, review to make sure that everything is okay. And then your case will be processed. Now, if your case is processed and your case number is current based on the visa bulletin, that means your case is now waiting in the queue for interview. It's just a matter of the embassy that you chose for your interview being ready and accepting cases for interview. So you need to make sure that your case has to be processed. So if when you submitted your case, it has not been processed up to date, then definitely you are not even up to the point to be waiting in the cases that are ready for interview. I hope you understand. Now, when you get to the process stage, the next factor is your case number being current. Your case number being current means that there is visa available for your case number range. When you look at the visa bulletin, it allocates visas for case number ranges based on the cutoff point. So if your case number is not current, you're not getting an interview yet because visa is not available. But there is an exception. So because the visa bulletin is always published ahead of time, your case number may not be current at this moment, but it may be coming current maybe next month, right? So an embassy could schedule you for interview even though your case number is not current right now, but by the time you go for the interview, your case number will be current. Okay? There have been some rare instances where somebody's case number may not be current yet. They'll go for interview, it is still not current yet, and then the case is placed in AP. Visa is only issued when it becomes current, because remember, when your case number is current, it means visa is available for your case. I hope you understand. So if your case is processed and it's still not current, then your chances of getting an interview is slim. But then it's possible that you could be scheduled for interview even when your case number is not current. That is not a common thing, okay? All right. So if your case number is like 60,000 and you are nowhere near being current yet, so it is unlikely that if your case number is 60,000, now look at the visa bulletin, the cutoff point for cases that are going to be current in the month of January is 22,000 for Africa. So if your case number is 40,000, then even if your case is processed, it's unlikely that you're going to get an interview later. Now, I hope you understand. Okay? Now, the other factor, aside all of these, the other factor is the performance of your embassy. The performance of your embassy. The embassy that you have chosen to attend interview there. 1 year, some embassy could be doing really well. Another year, they could be doing horribly. Okay? One example was the U.S. Embassy in Lagos. We saw that in the 2020, DV2021, DV2022, especially in the DV2022, the U.S. Embassy in Lagos did well. They didn't do amazingly well, but they did well considering the fact that Nigerians are now participating in the DV lottery. So it was kind of like a courtesy, okay? So the U.S. Embassy in Lagos helped a lot of Ghanaians, a lot of other nationals who attended their interview in Lagos. But unfortunately, in DV 2023, they did not adjudicate one case, not even one case there. And I know there are people who lived in Nigeria who chose to have their interview at Lagos and they didn't even get an interview. Not to even talk about people who transferred there, right? So 1 year, the U.S. Embassy in Lagos did well. And then another year, they just, didn't. But then there's some embassies that have consistently, over the past few years, have consistently proven that they do well. Okay, one of the embassies in Africa would be the U.S. Embassy in Yaoundé, Cameroon. The U.S. Embassy in Yaoundé, Cameroon, that's well. U.S. Embassy in Morocco, Casablanca, they do really well. U.S. Embassy in Algeria, they also do really well. The U.S. Embassy in Sierra Leone, Freetown, they also did okay, right? And then we have other embassies that have, within the past few years have consistently, they haven't shown much improvement, especially the U.S. Embassy in Accra, Ghana. Some years they did well and then they went down. So it's kind of like you have to pay attention to some of these things, okay? This is why it is important for you to be in the DV lottery groups, because sometimes you get to know what is going on with other winners so that it will help you make an informed decision. Understand that at this point we are in the dark. We don't know what is going on because there's no official data yet, except the visa bulletin and then the visa issuances. But other than that, the official data from SIAC that would tell us how many people went for interview, how many people were issued, how many people were refused, put in AP, all of that stuff. We don't have any of that information yet, until January 1st. So at this point, we are just in the dark. We don't know what is going on. So that is why it is important for you to be in groups, Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, whatever the platform is. So long as it is talking about DV lottery, heck yeah, be in that group so that you can get some information. Be in different groups so that if you're not getting some information here, who knows, it might show up in another group. All right. But one important thing that I would tell you to do is that save money. Save money. I know we are approaching the Christmas season, and so there'll be a lot of Christmas shopping, gifting, and all of that. As you guys may already know, that this process will require a good financial investment. Some of you may have to move your cases to another country where you will have to buy a plane ticket, fly to another country, and get over there. Let me tell you guys, just the last ended DV lottery program year, DV2024, some of the guys who went to Freetown for their interview realized that, oh, I didn't know that my flight got to Kenya before I even got to Freetown. The person was coming from Ghana. They had to get to Kenya and then to Freetown. And then they said they had to ride by ferries. This is a thing that if you are a Ghanaian who has never been to Freetown, wherever you come from, if you're going to Freetown, you have no idea that you had to use a ferry to ride a ferry to get to the embassy location. You wouldn't have planned that this was something that you have to, do. So that is why it's very important that you save money. You have money on you, because getting on a ferry will be another means of transportation. So even though you may be looking at your plane ticket, guess what? The ferry cost is not part of your plane ticket. It will be an additional cost. So make sure that you are not spending money unwisely, especially as we are approaching the holiday season. If you're a DV lottery winner, this is a time to be very cautious about your spending habits, okay? And as I will always say, prepare. It doesn't matter whether your case number is 20,000 or your case number is 80,000 or your case number is 90,000. Prepare for your interview as if your interview is going to happen next week, okay? Because the thing is that when you prepare ahead of time, it gives you the opportunity to go over your documentation, your checklist, to find out what is missing. When you wait until few days to your interview to prepare, that is where you attend your interview and realize that you left an important document at home. That is where you realize that you left something that you should have brought to the interview, and then now you end up in AP. Remember, there were a lot of people who were in AP in the DV 2023 when they ran out of visa. Right? So remember, it's 55,000 visas. And whenever they run out of visas, that is the end of your fiscal year. The program will end when they run out of visas. So this is why you don't want to wait until it's very close to your interview to prepare for your interview, and then you go there and you find yourself in AP. So as a personal recommendation to you guys, prepare for your interview. No matter how big or small your case number is, no matter how fast your embassy is, or no matter how slow your embassy is, prepare for your interview so that it will give you adequate time for you to spot the things that you're missing for your interview, so that it will give you enough time to look for more evidence that could help your case, especially those of you who are single mothers, single fathers, who may be trying to immigrate with your child. Definitely you want to bring documents. Those of you who have adopted children, definitely you want to bring some evidence. Those of you who have children, you want to bring evidence. Those of you who are married, you need to bring evidence showing that this relationship wasn't just because you won the lottery. So when you prepare early, guess what? You will have more time to go look for those Yahoo Messenger messages that you have. That will give you the opportunity to think about the other evidence that are there that you have forgotten about. Okay? Basically, just prepare early. All right? So guys, if this information has been helpful to you, please share this video with somebody who is probably going through their development and they are at their wits and they don't know what to do. And if you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Wofoi TV. I love you guys. I wish you the best of luck. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.